Okay guys, let's do a video on self-identity, personal identity. So this one's gonna be a harder one. There's no way I can break down who you are, the nature of the self in 10 minutes, but I'm gonna do my best. So let's get to it. So who are you really? What is the self? So there's many different theories that you are a soul, you are a body, you are a mind, you are your memories, and then there's a theory that you actually don't exist at all, that the self is an illusion. So let's kind of dissect each one of these. I might have to make another video on this. I'm gonna make another video on this for sure. But what is a soul? Let's start with that. What is a soul? Man, I personally don't like the word soul, but I think soul and consciousness are very closely related. But I think that the reason why I don't like the concept soul is because a soul implies that there's a separate individual, like there's a separate ghost inside of your body that's separate from the rest of the world. It's like dualism, the whole philosophy of dualism. Like a soul assumes that dualism is true, just the idea of a soul as being a separate individual. But I like the word consciousness better because consciousness is more holistic. It doesn't imply dualism to be true. It doesn't mean that there's a ghost in your body. Consciousness is really just the entire field of experience. And I think that the soul theory might be part true and part false because of the dualism that it implies, which I think is false. But I think it's part true because deep down, if you look at who you are, who am I, it would be consciousness. And I feel like that is true. And I want you to think of it like this, that you can think of it like this, that the universe is like the fire, and then the soul or consciousness is like the ember of the fire. Or you can think of it like this, that the tree is consciousness, and then the branch, or let's say like the leaf, is like who you are. So you could think of it like that your soul is not separate from the universe. You can think of it like that you're like a leaf to the tree, that you are connected to the tree. You're not separate from it. That's one way of thinking of it. Then there's the body theory. What is a body? We could think of it, what is a body really? And that's an interesting one to think about. What is a body? And I feel like the body is also not separate from the soul either, that the body is consciousness as well. It's just consciousness in a more physical form. And the body is an interesting one too. Then the next one is memory. We are our memories. What is memory? It's all in the past, right? And then there's no self at all. So this one's interesting. Let's just dive into this one, because this one is probably the most mind-racking of all of them. The idea that there is no self, no soul, comes from Buddhism. And the Buddha claimed that there is no separateness. Separation is an illusion. There is no separate self. There is no soul. There is none of that, because it implies separation. If you go inside of the body, point to where you are. Where are you? Because you think that you're something inside of your body, like you're somebody behind your eyes, that I exist behind my eyes somewhere, right? But that's an illusion. The idea that you are behind your eyes is an illusion. And they say that because you are always changing. You're always changing. There's nothing about you that ever remains the same. The person that you are 5 seconds ago is not the same person you are right now. You're always changing. So you can't really say that there is an unchanging separate soul, because there is no separation, because you are changing along with everything in the universe. It's all connected. It's like the leaf of the tree, that you think that the leaf is separate from the tree, but it's not. It depends on the tree and all that stuff. So, and there's another way of thinking about this, that you think that you're like this boat. Let's say that like you're like this ship. But if you think about it, your cells replace themselves over 7 years. Your whole body all of your cells will rearrange themselves, where your cells in your body are not like they were 7 years ago. So your 7-year-old body and self, it's gone. It's just a memory you have that connects you to that. And so that's where the memory theory comes in, that the memories are who we are because they connect us to everything in our lives, to that consistent, unchanging self, that the memories are the ones that are unchanging. But we can also question that too, that our memories, we lose them over time. So if we lose our memories, do we also lose ourself too? So that's an interesting one as well. But I'll have to make another part on this because there's more to talk about. But let's talk about the no self. So no self. So you're like a ship, right? And your body, your cells will replace themselves 7 years to where your body and self will not be the same. So if we take the ship analogy, if we take one plank from the ship and replace it with another plank, is it still the same ship? Most people say, yeah. If I cut off my arm and put on an AI arm on, would it be the same? Like, I'd still be me, right? Yeah. Now what if I did it to my legs? Then to my torso, and somehow I could do it like Darth Vader to where I can do my whole body AI, would I still be me? Most people they'd start to question that more, because when you take the planks from the ship and rearrange them with new ones, could you still call that the same ship? And some people would say, yeah, but then I'd be like, but what about that ship is the same as the original one? Like, how is it connected? Why not just call it a different ship? Because we could take the same planks that we did to replace it with the original ones to make an entirely new ship. So if we take these planks, right, and then I just build a ship out of them, and you have your ship, we wouldn't call that your ship, right? But if I took the planks from this new ship and I rearranged them slowly with your ship, then at what point would this new ship be you and you be the new ship? You see that? And it's just, and we can even take the original planks that we substituted with this new ship and make an entirely new ship out of that. So which one would you be? Would you be like the planks that were slowly, so if we took my cells and put them into you one at a time, at what point would I be you and you be me? And my theory is that we are already one. I am already you, you are already me. We're just experiencing different characters right now. The play is all one. We're just different characters. But what makes us different? That's the thing. What makes us different? And a lot of that has to do with personality theory. So that's kind of where the memory theory comes in. That it's our memories that make us who are our personality. Because our personality and memories are connected together. So I am my personality. But what is a personality? What is that? Because after all, we could, damage your brain and your personality changes, and then are you still you? And I would actually argue that yes, you are actually still you because you're still conscious. Because who you are fundamentally at the end of the day, if a gun were to be held to your head, you wouldn't really be afraid of losing, you would be afraid of losing your personality, but there's something more fundamental that you'd be afraid of losing, and that is your experience. Your awareness of existence, because that's really what we can say exists, is our experience. That this tree exists, right? Well, what do we mean by that? We basically mean that I experienced the tree, therefore it exists. The tree exists as colors, sensations for me. I can touch the tree, I can do whatever. And that's what we say exist. And so that's what I feel like we'd be really afraid of losing if we were to die. So I think that we are really fundamentally consciousness. We are, and I don't think that is separate from the universe, that it is one with the universe. Because to observe the tree, you are aware of the tree, and that is a connection you have. There's quantum mechanics that go into that too, that if you were to change one electron and the other one at the entire way of the universe, they'll both change. Just changing something in one element changes it in the other one. And by being aware of the tree, that tree is already connected to you. Do you see that? By being aware of something, it already assumes connection to it, that this object is connected to your experience. Stick around for part 2. I'm going to go into this more.